It says we're streaming live on Facebook. That must be good.
I can't see it. Okay, perfect.
You can see it on my screen.
You can see it on your screen. Okay. It just doesn't show on Facebook. So we'll just go with it. I'm going to go with it. This is our first time doing Zoom live connected with Facebook. So this is super techie for me. So hello, good evening, everyone. This is Lori Hammer, and I'm here with my sweet, sweet longtime friend, Julie Neiman. We've been homeschooling together for a long time, right?
Yes.
I don't know, maybe like 13 years, 14 years, something like that. You've been homeschooling longer than I have.
Yeah, I've got a 26-year-old son. So yeah, I've been at it a little bit longer than that.
About 6 years longer than me, at least.
Yep.
Yeah, maybe 7, something like that. Good. Well, tonight we wanted to chat about essential oils. It's not something that I talk about a lot because it's not my thing, but it is Julie's thing, and she knows way more about essential oils than I do. And I glean from her, I learn from her, and I love essential oils. We use them in my family often. And I thought it'd be kind of fun to bring Julie on because she's definitely an expert in essential oils, and talk about some of her favorite fall oils as our moods change, as the season changes, as our taste buds change. So what do you have for us tonight, Julie?
Well, I'm coming to you tonight with 4 of my favorites for fall. Really, when it comes to essential oils, there's hundreds and hundreds of them. So to limit it down to just a few, so I'm not going on forever and ever, was kind of hard. But my 4 favorites that I picked tonight are orange and frankincense. And then 2 of my favorite blends, Stress Away and Joy.
I love all of those.
So I'm going to tell you kind of why I chose those, and kind of give you guys some insight into how essential oils really can be a blessing to you in the fall season. So why is fall a difficult time emotionally for so many people? You know, a lot of times people don't like that feeling of the seasons coming to an end. We're heading towards winter, a time of death. You know, when we think the seasons, the plants die or they go into a dormant time, and it can just be a depressing time for many, many people. And so there's lots of reasons that this occurs. And so one of it is the shorter days, especially if you live here in the Northern Hemisphere, like we do in Northern Iowa. Our days get shorter and shorter. A lot of people, the sun has set before they even get off of work at night, and they go to work in the dark, they come home in the dark, and it just can have a really negative effect on our mood. Other reasons is the cooler temperatures. Again, those of us living in the north, it gets colder and colder, and we start putting on more layers of clothing, and that can affect people's moods. Another thing that happens in the fall is we move into a holiday season. And holiday seasons can be painful at times as we reflect on past hurts, past relationships, maybe relationships that have been severed, or even death as we go into these really important holidays without those people from our past that we loved and we miss. And so, you know, that can just be a real heaviness about the fall. And so I want to just kind of start by sharing that the first holiday that kind of kicks off the fall season is Halloween. And Halloween is the holiday of sugar. And if you know Lori, and if you've ever done any studying about the damage that sugar does to your body, this holiday sets up our culture for lots of bad things to happen. It absolutely destroys our body's ability to be healthy. It destroys our immune system, and it has a direct effect on our mental state as well. So one of the things that, you know, we see happening is we get into the Halloween season, people start buying sugar and eating sugar and consuming garbage. And then we wonder why we feel like garbage. Right? Garbage in, garbage out. Okay. And so then that kind of leads us in. So we're already in a funk because of October, and we move right into Thanksgiving, which is supposed to be a holiday of giving thanks and reflection and thankfulness. And yet, what do we do culturally at Thanksgiving is we overeat. So now we've added insult to injury. And oftentimes we're reaching for those comfort foods, which can have negative side effects on the way that we feel. But the other thing that's going on is we're coming together as family groups, and oftentimes there's stress within those relationships. So we find ourselves obligated to go home to mom's for Thanksgiving, and there's going to be that relative or that in-law that causes a little bit of angst and distress in your life. And so we're eating poorly, and then we're finding ourselves in difficult situations.
Yeah.
And so of course that continues as we roll into Christmas. So now we've got the sugar, the overeating, and now we're gonna seal the deal with more Christmas sugar and candy and bad food, and then we're gonna finish it off with alcohol at the end of New Year's.
You just painted a nice picture, Julie. Thank you.
Well, but the thing is, we have choices. We can make choices about these situations, but we wonder, sometimes you have to step back and go, what choices am I making that's leading me to having these negative feelings about fall? And so what I want to show you today is we can turn those things around, that we can actually choose to have positive feelings. And I don't want to imply that everybody has negative feelings, but I think most of us have had negative things we've had to deal with, difficult things we've had to deal with. I mean, even if you get along with all the people in your world wonderfully, you've probably lost somebody that you love. You've probably lost a grandmother or a grandfather or a sibling or a parent or a coworker. And this time of the year is difficult when we come up against these losses. And so so the first oil I want to talk about is orange. And so orange is very, very high in D-limonene. Limonene. Got to make sure I'm getting all my syllables.
You got
there. And so it has been shown to decrease stress and anxiety. It is really an amazing, we want this in our diet, but in an essential oil used aromatically, it can actually have a really positive effect on our emotions and how we feel. And so it is one of my favorite oils to use for lifting emotions going into the fall season, for really helping us deal with seasonal, well, we can't say depression, but seasonal blues, cabin fever, right? If we get locked in the house, the weather's yucky. It's just a great one. There was a study done at Mia University in 1995, found that citrus fragrances boost immunity, they induce relaxation, and they reduce sadness. So that's pretty cool. There was another study done about the orange fragrance that reduces patients' anxiety when they were using it during oral surgery. I think many of us have had negative emotions around having our oral care dealt with. And so essential oils, and the orange essential oil is a great option to help you work through those stressful situations. So anyway, that's my first pick. And really, to get it in the diffuser or wear it topically, it is an oil that is photosensitive, but if we're living in the north, that's probably not an issue as we move into the fall season.
Especially not in October.
Right, we're putting it on our body, and then we're covering it up with clothes because the temperatures are dropping.
And I love to put the orange with the thieves. I find that just comforting to me.
Yes.
Like somebody's baking in my house, and so.
And you're going to find that orange can be added to just about any other oil, like you said, thieves. Because even if you have an oil, it's like, I really want to use that oil, but I don't particularly care for the scent, or maybe someone in your home doesn't care for the scent, you can cover it with the smell of orange. And most of us find orange and all the citrus oils to be very uplifting.
Yeah. We
like the smell. In marketing, they know that these citrus smells are very powerful and have a very positive impact on people, which is why they scent artificially many cleaning products with scents. Okay, so even the marketing people are on to us. Okay, my next oil is frankincense. And frankincense, if you are a Bible, if you're a believer, you read in the Bible about frankincense a lot. Jesus was brought frankincense in the Nativity. So one of the key constituents in frankincense is alpha-pinene. It is between 30 and 65% alpha-pinene and limonene. And its aromatic fragrance, its influence is it improves the attitude, which is really cool in the winter. If you don't particularly like the snow, you need to have your attitude improved. It's uplifting to your spirit, and it also calms the mind. I joke that it's my squirrel oil because there are days when I'm trying to chase too many rabbits in too many different directions, and I need to just calm my mind down and focus on one thing and start working through things one at a time. And so I call it my squirrel oil. So frankincense and orange are a great combination in a diffuser, even to wear as a cologne. They're a beautiful combination. Really? So that's another really great option. My next one is Stress Away. Now, Stress Away is a blend, and it is a blend of copaiba, lime, cedarwood, vanilla, ocotillo, and lavender. And so it has lime in it, another citrus oil, which is very uplifting to the mood. It has cedarwood, which cedarwood stimulates the limbic region of the brain, which is the location or the center of emotion. So the cedarwood in the Stress Away is going to help you to be calming. It also releases melatonin in the body to calm you and to help you to sleep. So that's kind of cool.
Love my roll-on.
And then lavender, most people are aware that lavender is a very calming oil. Ocotillo is known for its balancing abilities. It can also help with sugar cravings. So another thing, as we're going into these seasons of eating, the Stress Away not only is going to help your emotions be balanced, but it's going to help you maybe have a little more self-control as you walk into a situation and there's just lots of food options that maybe aren't your best choices. So anyway, love Stress Away. Stress Away in a diffuser, Stress Away, Lori has hers in a roll-on. She's
love my roll-on.
all over herself. It's just a great one to have with you all the time, especially in times of stressful situations. The other thing, kind of a funny story, had a neighbor from my childhood, elderly woman, and she loved the Stress Away. And her doctor, she had lots of medical issues at the end of life, and her doctor was monitoring her very closely. And when she was using Stress Away regularly, her blood pressure started dropping, and her doctor actually had to reduce her blood pressure medicine.
Oh, that's awesome. I love to hear that.
She was using the oil, but when she ended up in a nursing home at the very end of life, they would not allow her to use it. They took all the essential oils away from her, and her blood pressure slowly went back up. They had to put her back on the medication. So I don't know that everybody's going to have that effect, but we all know that stress can cause higher blood pressure. I mean, absolutely, they're connected. So if you can reduce your emotional stress, you're probably going to feel better physically, which is really cool.
Definitely. I love that story.
Yeah. And so again, Stress Away by itself, Stress Away with orange, because orange goes with everything. Yeah. And then my last oil I wanted to talk to you about is joy. And, joy, we sing songs at Christmas time, joy to the world. We want to have a joyful attitude, a joyful spirit. And this is definitely an oil that will do that for you. It is a blend of a whole bunch of oils. It has bergamot, ylang-ylang, geranium, lemon, coriander, tangerine, jasmine, Roman chamomile, palmarosa, and rose. And it is a very fragrant oil. And if it's too fragrant for you, you might want to add the orange to help tame it down, but it already has other citrus oils in it, like the lemon and the bergamot and the tangerine. So it's just really a really grounding oil for you and for your emotions. It was designed to help people overcome deep-seated grief and sadness. And so if you are going into the holiday season and it's a time of heaviness for you, for whatever reason, this is a beautiful oil to add to your daily routine, to be diffusing. Let me tell you a funny story. So a woman wanted her husband to love her essential oils, and the husband hated them. Hated them. And so she was talking to someone, and he said, well, how about you put some of the Joy oil on your husband's underwear when you do the laundry and see if that helps. And so she did. So she put it on his underwear when she was folding the laundry, put it away in his drawer, and he went, anyway, over the course of a week, he got nicer. Cool.
Cool.
And she was feeling so guilty because she knew she had put oils on his underwear.
She manipulated him with oil.
Yeah. So she couldn't take the guilt anymore. She confessed her trick to him. And by then he was so happy he didn't care. And so he was really good about the essential oils.
So she just rubbed it on his underwear.
She just put it on the cotton. So let me tell you a funny story. Another lady heard about the first lady and thought, well, that's really cool. I'm going to put it on my husband's underwear too, because he's kind of ornery. And she put it on the elastic waistband of his underwear.
Yeah.
And it caused a chemical reaction on the elastic.
Oh, so don't do that.
And gave her husband a rash, and he didn't like it at all. So the moral of the story is on the cotton, not on the elastic. But again, it's a really great oil to help bring joy to
so did she just like to put it on her finger and rub it on there? Is that what she did, Julie?
Yeah. Isn't that
That's
cool?
a tiny little trick.
Tiny little trick. I can't promise it will work for your husband, but but anyway, and again, it's a beautiful one to blend with orange if it's too floral. It's got a very floral, heavy floral scent. So if that's not your thing, add a little orange to it, help tame it down a little bit. But these are my favorite oils going into fall because it gives us the ability to control the stress with all the things, the places we need to be, the stuff we need to do. Our schedules tend to get real active. This will help us keep our mind centered on the things that we need to do, level the stress, enjoy the season, and keep our brains and our bodies healthy.
I love that. I love that. I haven't put frankincense and orange together before, or Joy with orange before. I'm going to try that in the diffuser and maybe sprinkle a little on some underwear. We'll see how it works. Just because I can. I want to experiment.
Exactly.
Fantastic. Okay. So, you know what the Joy reminds me of? My grandma. It smells a little bit like what she used to wear. And so it makes me smile when I put it on. I love that one.
Yep.
Yeah. Awesome. So if people have questions about oils, where can they find you, Julie? Obviously on Facebook.
They can find me on Facebook, Julie Niemann. And I could certainly post my contact information.
Yeah, do that
in the comments after we post this video.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much for coming on. Julie and I are going to do this periodically with each other for you so that I can learn more about oils and she can share her wealth of information and you all can learn about oils. So they're very powerful tools. I love to incorporate them when I know what I'm doing with them, and which is helpful because they just seem to work. I love using them on horses. They seem to respond to like just about anything you put in front of them. So
yes, the horses love the oils.
They do. They do. It's so fun. All right, Julie, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Appreciate you coming on and we'll have you on again.
Okay, I'm looking forward to it.
Good night.
Good night.